At Glow at the start of 2017, we're going to be looking at a book in the Bible, John's Gospel, and asking the question, who is Jesus? And why does it make a difference to us today? So here's some background information to get us started. The word gospel actually means good news. The Bible's made up of 66 different books all put together into one book that we call the Bible. And there are 4 Gospels within that. And they're the 4 books that deal with the story of Jesus' time on earth, the accounts of his life from Christmas through to Easter and a little bit beyond. So it's all about the amazing things that he said, the incredible things that he did, and the impact that those things had on the people who were around him. So the Gospels are 4 books to tell us the good news of Jesus. John's Gospel is called John's Gospel because, rather predictably, it was written by a guy called John. John was one of Jesus' disciples. In fact, he was one of Jesus' closest friends. And so the good news that he writes is an eyewitness account of Jesus' life. The other 3 Gospels, Matthew, Mark and Luke, are often described as the synoptic Gospels. And they're called that because they're very similar. They probably had similar sources of information. They kind of tell the same stories. But John's account is somehow unique. And clearly he didn't have the other Gospels in front of him when he was writing it down. So with John, even though he's writing about the same Jesus and writing about some of the same things, we get this unique kind of inside story, a privileged look at the life of Jesus from the inside. Lots of people have suggested reasons why John might have written an account of Jesus' life, but actually he tells us himself in the Gospel. In chapter 20 he said, These are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. So John wants us to see what he has witnessed and experienced of Jesus. There's something about it that he just couldn't help but write it down. The things that he's experienced, he wanted to share with the world beyond, and we get the benefit of being able to read that. He wants us to see who Jesus really is and the impact that that can have on our lives today. So as a church, we're going to be looking at a chapter of John each week, starting on the 22nd of January 2017, all the way through to Easter, and perhaps a little bit more after as well. And you can find a week-by-week plan by looking on our website. It should be right there on the homepage. And there are 3 main ways that you can get involved this term in following John's Gospel. The first is at home. Find the plan on the website, get a Bible and open it to the Gospel of John, just beyond halfway through, a little bit further maybe, and read it. On week 1, read chapter 1. Maybe read the same chapter, that chapter each day for a week. It'll take you 5 minutes each day. And as you read, allow God to inspire you and to help you understand as you ask the question, who is Jesus? If you'd like some more in-depth study, then I can recommend these books by Tom Wright. These are really good if you want to study in a bit more depth, and he'll sort of begin to ask more questions and help you think about it more. There are 2 books. They're called John for Everyone. There's one for each half of the book. But so if you like those, then they're great. I highly recommend those. The second way that you can get involved is come along on a Sunday. At 3:30 in Offerton Community Centre is where we meet. And as well as worshipping and having some time together, we get to hear someone talking about each chapter, helping us to understand it and asking the question, so what? What's the point? What difference does this make for us today? And if you miss that, you can also catch up on our website, which also goes onto a podcast. You'll hopefully find the link somewhere below this video. Each week you'll be able to hear what's been said if you miss out. And the third way for you to get involved is by being in a small group. Lots of you already are. Small groups are groups that meet midweek in our homes, and it's a great place to just bounce questions around, ask what we think about the chapter, and to explore what it means for us to believe in this guy Jesus. So my prayer for us as we explore John's Gospel this term is that Jesus becomes more and more real for us, that we might believe that he is the Christ, the Son of God, and believe it more deeply, and that through him we might have life in all its fullness. Enjoy.